Let me tell you something that may hit you hard. Life is not waiting for you. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your pain, or your struggles. Life will punch you in the face, drag you down, laugh at your weakness, and step on your chest while you're gasping for air. And if you don't rise up with fire in your heart, life will crush you and move on without blinking. But listen to me very carefully. You are not here to be average, you are not here to be weak, and you are not here to beg for scraps. You are here to pray, you are here to prepare, and you are here to dominate. This is not some soft feel, good motivational talk. This is truth. This is a wake-up call for your soul. Faith fuels the fire that carries you through the darkest valleys and pushes you beyond the limits you thought were impossible. Faith is not some soft whisper in the night. It is the roaring thunder inside you that says, keep going no matter what. When you believe, truly believe, you ignite a flame that no amount of hardship, betrayal, or failure can extinguish. Faith is the difference between quitting when you're tired and pushing when you're broken. It's the difference between seeing obstacles as walls and seeing them as ladders. When you live with faith, every struggle becomes fuel, every setback becomes a lesson, and every defeat becomes the groundwork for a comeback. Faith fuels the fire because it does not rely on evidence. It relies on conviction. Evidence can fade, circumstances can shift, people can change, but conviction, that deep, unshakable belief inside you, will never die as long as you protect it. Too many people wait for proof before they act, wait for signs before they move, wait for guarantees before they risk. But the truth is, if you're waiting for proof, you're already behind. Faith comes first, and the fire follows. That fire burns through fear, it burns through doubt, it burns through every excuse you've ever told yourself. Think about it. What has ever been achieved without faith? The greatest leaders, the boldest dreamers, the strongest warriors, they all carried faith like a weapon. They stepped into battles they had no reason to win, and yet they walked out victorious, not because of their circumstances, but because their faith never allowed their fire to go out. The world is full of people who gave up because their faith was weak, who lived small lives because they let the fire die. Don't be one of them. Protect your faith like your life depends on it, because it does. Faith fuels the fire when you pray, even though you don't see the answer yet. Faith fuels the fire when you prepare, even when success feels 1,000 miles away. Faith fuels the fire when you dominate, even when the odds are stacked against you. It is the invisible force that makes you unstoppable, the internal engine that pushes you past your limits, the sacred fire that tells you your destiny is bigger than your pain. With faith, no storm can drown you, no fire can burn you, no mountain can bury you. Carry your faith with pride, feed it daily, and never allow the world to put out your flame. Because when faith fuels your fire, you don't just survive, you rise, you conquer, and you inspire. Preparation builds the warrior because no man or woman is born ready for the battles of life. Strength is not inherited. It is forged in the fire of preparation. Every hour spent training, every sacrifice made in silence, every repetition performed when no one is watching, chisels you into the warrior you were meant to become. Too many people pray for victory without preparing for war. They ask for greatness but refuse the grind that produces it. They fantasize about winning, but they are unwilling to bleed for it. A warrior is not defined by the fight they face, but by the preparation they invest long before the battle ever begins. Preparation is not glamorous. It's lonely, it's exhausting, it's repetitive. It demands discipline when motivation disappears. It demands sacrifice when comfort calls. But it is in these unseen moments of preparation where the true warrior is built. When you choose the weights over the bed, the book over the distraction, the grind over the excuse, you are shaping the armor that will carry you into victory. Warriors don't rise to the occasion. They fall back on the hours, the days, the years of preparation they've endured. If you are unprepared, you will crumble under pressure. But if you are prepared, the battlefield will feel like home. Think of the athlete who trains until their body aches, the entrepreneur who studies until their eyes burn, the soldier who drills until instinct takes over. What makes them warriors is not the final fight. It's the preparation that hardened them long before. The world sees the victory. They don't see the countless hours of sweat, struggle, and sacrifice that built it. Every success story is written in the ink of preparation. Preparation is also proof of respect. Respect for the opportunity, respect for the mission, respect for yourself. To show up unprepared is to admit you don't care enough. To prepare with obsession is to declare to the world, I am ready, I am dangerous, I am unstoppable. That is what separates warriors from the masses. The crowd hopes for good fortune, but the warrior prepares for war. When the test comes, and it always comes, you will not have time to get ready, you will only have time to act, and when that moment arrives, you will fall to the level of your preparation. If you have prepared like a warrior, you will dominate. If you have been lazy, distracted, and careless, you will be crushed. It's that simple. So prepare with intensity. Prepare with focus. Prepare as if your life, your future, your destiny depend on it. Because they do. Every choice you make today is either sharpening your sword or dulling it. Every hour wasted is a weakness exposed. Every sacrifice embraced is a weapon gained. Warriors are not born, they are built. And preparation is the hammer, the fire, and the forge that builds them. Domination defines destiny because life does not reward the timid, it rewards the relentless. The world does not hand crowns to those who wait patiently in line. It bows to those who take command, those who refuse to settle, those who dominate. Destiny is not written by chance. It is carved by force, carved by discipline, carved by the unshakable will of the one who refuses to be ordinary. To dominate is not to harm others. It is to rise above mediocrity, to master yourself so completely that no weakness, no distraction, no excuse can control you. Your destiny is not shaped by what you hope for. It is shaped by what you dominate. Domination begins with the self. You cannot hope to conquer the world if you cannot first conquer your own mind. The man who cannot dominate his emotions, his laziness, his fears, will be a slave to them forever. But the one who disciplines himself to act with courage, to move with strength, to push with consistency, becomes the master of his fate. You are either dominated by weakness or you dominate it. You are either ruled by fear or you rule over it. Domination defines destiny because it is the only path to ownership of your life. Look at history. Those who shaped the world were not the ones who hesitated, who played it safe, who waited for permission. They were the ones who dominated their craft, their time, their vision. They imposed their will on reality until reality had no choice but to bend. That is why they are remembered, and the timid are forgotten. Your legacy will not be determined by how many times you almost tried, but by the moments you chose to dominate when it mattered most. Domination is not a single act. It is a lifestyle. It is waking up and choosing to control your morning before it controls you. It is attacking your goals with such aggression that nothing and no one can deny you. It is carrying yourself with the energy of inevitability, where people feel your presence and know you are destined for more. When you dominate consistently, destiny cannot ignore you. And make no mistake, if you do not dominate, you will be dominated. Life is not neutral. Either you impose your will on the world, or the world imposes its will on you. The weak live by default, the strong live by design. The difference is domination. When you dominate, you write your destiny with fire, with authority, with finality. So decide today, will you allow circumstances, people, fear, and excuses to define your life? Or will you rise, sharpen your will, and dominate every second, every challenge, every opportunity that comes your way? Because in the end, destiny is not decided by chance. Domination defines destiny. Discipline is the path to glory because without it, every dream collapses, every vision fades, and every promise you make to yourself dies in silence. People crave glory. They crave recognition, power, and legacy, but very few are willing to pay the price. Glory is not found in comfort. It is not found in ease. It is not found in shortcuts. Glory is found in the trenches of discipline, where you choose the hard road every single day, where you deny yourself the weakness of excuses and force yourself into the strength of action. Discipline is not about doing what you want, it is about doing what you must, even when you don't feel like it. That is the path that leads to glory. Discipline is the most brutal teacher, but it is also the most rewarding. It demands that you sacrifice pleasures in the present for power in the future. It asks you to wake up early, to work when others sleep, to train when others relax, to grind when others are distracted. The undisciplined hope for results, the disciplined create them. That is why the undisciplined envy the disciplined, because glory cannot be borrowed, it must be earned. Every great achievement in history has discipline carved into its foundation. The warrior who rises victorious has spent countless hours drilling when no one was watching. The leader who commands respect has spent years sharpening his mind, strengthening his character, and mastering his habits. The champion who lifts the trophy has lived a life of discipline while others lived a life of distraction. Glory does not come to those who want it, it comes to those who earn it with relentless commitment. Discipline also protects you from yourself. Your greatest enemy is not the world, it is your own weakness, laziness, procrastination, self-doubt. These are assassins that kill dreams slowly. Discipline is the shield that blocks their attacks and the sword that cuts them down. With discipline, you move forward even when fear screams at you to stop. With discipline, you rise even when your body begs you to quit. With discipline, you execute the plan even when the results are invisible. Discipline is not glamorous, but it is undefeated. The truth is, most people will never taste glory because they will never endure the pain of discipline. They will settle for mediocrity because it is easy. But you, if you embrace discipline, will rise above them. You will stand on the mountaintop while they stay in the valley. You will wear the crown while they make excuses. And when your name is remembered, when your story is told, it will be because you chose the hard path of discipline, and that path led you to glory. So never forget, discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. It is the price that opens the gates of greatness. It is the path that turns ordinary men into legends. Discipline is the path to glory, and if you walk it without hesitation, glory will be yours. The legacy of relentless victory is not built in one moment, one win, or one shining highlight. It is built over a lifetime of refusing to quit, refusing to bend, refusing to accept anything less than triumph. Victory is not an accident. It is not luck. It is the outcome of an unbreakable mindset, a heart that will not surrender, and a spirit that fights even when the body is exhausted. Relentless victory means you do not win once and retire. You win, and then you prepare to win again. You turn victories into a habit, into a lifestyle, into a legacy that cannot be erased. People remember the relentless because they are unstoppable. They are the ones who rise from defeat stronger than before. They are the ones who win battles nobody thought they could survive. They are the ones who leave behind stories that echo through time. That is the power of relentless victory. It outlives you. Your name, your example, your fire becomes the inspiration for generations that come after you. A single victory can inspire, but a relentless pursuit of victory creates a legacy that defines history. Relentless victory is not about comfort. It is about obsession. It is about waking up every day with the hunger to dominate again, no matter how many times you've already proven yourself. The weak win once and grow complacent. The relentless win, and then they set a higher standard. They refuse to let yesterday's success weaken tomorrow's drive. That's why their legacy lives on. Because they never stopped chasing, never stopped building, never stopped fighting. The road to relentless victory is brutal. It will cost you sleep. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you relationships with people who cannot match your pace. But what it gives you is far greater. It gives you pride, strength, respect, and immortality in the hearts and minds of those who witnessed your journey. People may forget your possessions, your money, or your comfort, but they will never forget your victories. They will never forget the example of someone who refused to stop winning. Every scar you earn, every sacrifice you make, every challenge you conquer becomes part of that legacy. And when your time on this earth ends, your victories will speak for you. They will remind the world that you lived as a warrior, not as a spectator. They will remind the world that you chased glory with relentless hunger. They will remind the world that you never bowed to defeat, no matter how heavy the battle. So live with that mindset now. Fight with everything you have every single day. Do not aim for one victory. Aim to become victory itself. Let your name be synonymous with resilience, strength, and relentless domination. Because in the end, money fades, possessions fade, but the legacy of relentless victory remains forever. That is what makes you eternal. Life is not promised, and time is not waiting. Every second that passes is either building your future or burying it. You have heard the truth. Faith fuels the fire, preparation builds the warrior, domination defines destiny, discipline is the path to glory, and the legacy of relentless victory lives forever. These are not just words to inspire you for a moment, these are principles to guide your life. You were not created to live small, to bow down to fear, or to accept mediocrity as your fate. You were created to rise. And rising requires that you pray with conviction, that you prepare with obsession, that you dominate without apology, that you discipline yourself with steel, and that you leave behind a legacy carved in relentless victory. Understand this. Your destiny is waiting, but it will not wait forever. Every day you hesitate, every excuse you embrace, every comfort you choose over sacrifice is a piece of your greatness thrown away. But every day you fight, every day you push, every day you refuse to quit, you are stepping closer to the life you were born to live. So take this message with you. Never bow to weakness, never surrender to excuses, never accept less than what you know you can become. Pray until your soul is on fire, prepare until the world cannot deny your readiness, dominate until your presence commands respect. Discipline yourself until glory is the only outcome, and fight for victory so relentlessly that your name echoes long after you are gone. This is your time, this is your calling, this is your destiny. Pray, prepare, dominate, and never stop.